Welcome or welcome back, crocheters. I know I say this every time, but I'm so excited for today's tutorial. An easy, beginner-friendly cardigan is literally the perfect stitch for summer, spring, fall. It is a V-stitch, and guys, this works up so quickly. You definitely are not gonna finish this in one day, but this is gonna surprise you how fast you can actually work this up. I am actually on my third cardigan now. My first one, I was perfecting the pattern. Second one, filmed it. Third one, I have to make more. I will be using 24/7 cotton yarn. I think I've ended up using 7 skeins. You might use less or you might use more. It depends on what length you want. For mine, I definitely knew I wanted oversized sleeves. And my next one, I might actually be using 8 skeins of yarn because this one I wanted it to fall right here. My next one, I think we're gonna go longer. If you enjoy easy, beginner-friendly tutorials, then go ahead and hit subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. I have way more beginner-friendly tutorials coming y'all's way. Remember when I was a beginner myself, so I try to break things down to making it super beginner-friendly so you're starting projects that you're actually gonna finish and you're gonna love. If you don't know this already, if you are gonna be buying 24/7 cotton yarn from like Michael's, buy it online and picking it up in the store because you can use a coupon. And guys, you just literally just walk into the store and you get it from your little bucket or whatever. It's so easy. So if you haven't done that, do it. This cardigan, I do not recommend weaving in any of your ends until you know it's good. Everything is how you want it, because once you weave in those ends and say you want to undo something, you're gonna have a really hard time. So I learned the hard way. So unless you want to start over again, don't weave in your ends until you know you like it. In this video, I'm going to be using 2 different size hooks. I will be using a 6.5 hook and a 5.5 hook. However, if you only have a 6.5, you could just use that. So let's go ahead, let's grab our supplies, and let's go crochet. I'm going to be using the 24/7 cotton yarn by Lion Brand. This is in the color Sky. Take a screenshot if you need to. I'm making medium. For my cardigan, I'm going to be making it size medium. So I'm going to be chaining 79 for the chain width of my main piece. I have my 79 chained. When you are at your chain, we are going to skip our first chain and we're going to work a single crochet into our second chain from the hook. And then we are going to give every single chain a single crochet. So by the end, you should have 78 crochets if you are doing size medium. So go ahead and work all the way down, doing just a single crochet. And when you get to the end, I will show you how we're going to do our main stitch. All right, I have my first row done. So now I should have 78 single crochet, and I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to turn my work the other direction. This is going to be the foundation of the V-stitch, so we're going to do the same thing going all the way down. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to do a double crochet, skipping 2 stitches. So we're going to skip this first one, skip the second one. I'm going to work into this third one, doing a double crochet. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do a chain 1, and we're going to do another double crochet into that same stitch. So we created our V. Now we're going to repeat that all the way down. So we're going to skip 2, work into the third, doing a double crochet. Chain 1 and a double crochet into that same stitch. Yarn over. We're going to skip 2, work into the third, So go ahead and work all the way down and meet me when you get to the end, and I will show you how to end it and how to move to the next row. It should be looking like this at the end. So we have our turning chain, which we're going to work into, and then we have our 2 leftovers. So we're just going to do a double crochet, and we're going to chain right here. All right, so now we're gonna do exactly like we did when we started, and we're gonna chain 3. So we're always gonna chain 3 when we start, and we're gonna turn our work. Okay, so now this is gonna be a 1 row repeat from the beginning to the end. So if you need to rewatch this, go ahead and just watch this again. All right, so we're gonna be working the V-stitch into our V-stitches. So these are the V-stitches. And then next to the V-stitches on this side, we're not going to do anything to those. We're going to leave them alone. So don't work into those, work into the other. So I will show you a few. The next one, so we're going to skip this, go right into our V. I guess try to remember that. So just remember that we are stacking our V's. So it should look like a V and a V going into a V. All right, so go ahead and keep working, and I'm going to show you how to end the row whenever we get down to the end. Alright, so now we have made it to the end, and we're going to do a double crochet into our 3rd chain. So we're going to count 3 chains up. So 1, 2, 3. And I always try to get under 2 of the strands. Alright, now remember, you're always going to chain 3 to begin. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work. So we're just going to continue this until you get to the length that you want, and then meet back up with me. But remember, you're going to, when you get to the end, you're going to double crochet into the 3rd chain, and then we're going to chain 3 and keep going. I have my rows completed. I did 34. Again, you can make this whatever length you want. Don't forget your double crochet on your 3rd chain, and then when you're done, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work going the other direction, and we are going to work a single crochet into every stitch. So don't skip a stitch, and if you have trouble going into it, you can just go around everything. Don't make it harder than it is. So like I can't get in, just go around it all. Take a screenshot if you need to. I'm making a medium. You're going to be making 2 of these, so feel free to rewatch it if you need a little guidance. Okay, I chained my 37, and now just like the other piece. All right, we are going to skip the 1st chain, and we're going to work a single crochet into our 2nd chain, working all the way down. Okay, when you are finished, you are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work. And we're going to do, now we're going to skip 2 stitches and work a double crochet into our 3rd stitch. And now a chain and a double crochet into that same stitch. All right, that's a V-stitch. We're going to skip 2 and work another V-stitch. So again, that's a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet into that same space. So I'm going to do it a couple more times. So go ahead and finish it and meet back when you're at the end. Okay, and to end it, I'm at the end, and all we have left is our double crochet that's gonna go right here. All right, and now you're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And remember, we're working our V-stitches into our V-stitches. So just as a reminder, the arrow should be pointing down. So these are not V-stitches. These are V-stitches. And you're gonna work your way all the way down, and when you get to the end, you're gonna give this last one a V-stitch, but do not forget that on your chain 3, you're going to double crochet into our 3rd chain. You're gonna do the same amount of rows that you did on the back piece. For me, I did 34, so I'm gonna be doing 34 rows on my 2 front pieces. So remember, you are gonna be making 2 of these. So go ahead and get your rows done and then meet back up with me. And we will be doing a single crochet at the very top, but I will guide you through that. So whenever you finish your piece, meet back up with me. So for your side panel, once you have it the same amount of rows as your back panel, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna turn your work. And now we're just gonna put a single crochet in all of your stitches. When you get to your chain 1 where you did your V-stitches, it's kind of hard to get into it, so just go around everything. I promise you're not even gonna know at the end. So go ahead and keep going until you get to the end, and then I'm gonna show you what to do. All right, so I'm almost at the end. If you make it this far, don't forget that you're actually gonna have to do 1 more, because you should not have 3 chains. You should have 2 chains. So do not forget the last one, because we want this to be really easy and we don't want a lot of ends to weave in. So we're gonna take our yarn and we're gonna make it like triple the size that it is. 2 and then 3, and then we're gonna cut it. So we're gonna use that yarn to attach it and weave in our end. So we have 1 less end to weave in. And remember, we will be making 2. Right here, I have my back panel and I have my 2 side panels, and they are ready. I do wanna remind y'all that this is the V-stitch, so you can see it's pointed down. So make sure all of your V-stitches are pointed down. Don't have one be upside down. It's just a little detail that you probably would notice later. You probably wouldn't notice it right away. So everything is set up the right way. Remember, we did a single crochet row and a single crochet row on both of these. And so once you got it how you like it, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna flip this up, and you're gonna flip this one up, and we're gonna make it even, and then you're gonna mark it. All right, so before we sew this, you do want to mark it and make sure that you love it before we sew it on. But I'm gonna show you how I did it. Now that I did it, I'm gonna show you how I did it. So you're gonna count the clusters of the V-stitch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So then I counted 11 right here, and I marked it so we end with that one, the chain 3. So I'm marking it in between the last cluster and then the next one or the next cluster. And then I did the same thing on this side. So, but before I do it, I am gonna fold it in half and make sure it is symmetrical. Okay, I folded it in half and everything looks good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna sew it on. Okay, so using the tail that I told you to save, or if you didn't leave the tail, you can just cut you some long yarn. I do about 3 times the length of this, and I find that that's exactly how much I need, with some to weave in. So we're going to be doing the mattress stitch. If you have a different way of joining your yarn together, use that way, but this is the way I like. The mattress stitch is going to be really secure for what we're weaving in, or for what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to be going from the back to the front. So I did the first one already. Now we're going to go to the other side right here. So I'm going from the bottom to the top. And you can see. And I'm going to do it one more time because it is the first stitch. So bottom to the top. Same thing. The bottom to the top. So then we're going to go to our next stitch, and we're going stitch by stitch. There we go. And then you see our next one go from the bottom to the top. Now we're going to go to the next one. And then you want to do maybe 4 stitches at a time. So this will be my last side, or the last stitch I do, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I got a few stitches on here, and now I'm going to gently pull just a little bit, and it's going to close it up. So this is really secure. So because it's going to be holding up this whole side panel, it's going to be nice and secure. So go ahead and finish this going all the way down, and then finish the other side going all the way down, and then meet back up with me. Okay, so I have done both sides. And this is the side that I'm going to choose to be the right side. And this is what the back looks like. I just feel like this side looks a lot more clean. So this is my right side. So to just help remember that, I'm going to put a stitch marker on the side facing my right side. And so that's just going to help remind me that whenever I go to do the sleeves and close this up, I'm going to make sure that this is inside out. So that way it's going to look really nice and beautiful whenever it's finished. So go ahead and try yours on and make sure it fits good. It should be looking a little something like this. So if it looks something like this, like a weird vest, then you are in the right spot and you're ready to move on. So when it goes to making your sleeves, I do have some helpful tips. One, I would make both cuffs at the same time and make sure that they are the same length. So you're going to want to make sure that it will fit however tight you want it. Me personally, I like tight cuffs because I'm so used to loose cuffs, but mine are pretty tight. And then also this next row, we're going to do a single crochet row, and then the row right after that might look a little bit different for everyone. And I do recommend making sure that the first one is good and then going straight into that other sleeve, so that way your foundation is the exact same. So for mine, I did 2 V's right next to each other, and then I did a double crochet, and then I did a V and then double crochet and a V and a double crochet. And you'll see whenever you get into it. But important thing to note is the width. So my width is, you can measure it, go ahead and measure it if you need to, but it needs to be able to go around your bicep because this sleeve is going to be the exact same all the way down. So you want to make sure that the width will fit around the biggest part of your arm, your bicep, or whatever the biggest part of your arm is. You want to make sure that it will reach all the way around and not being too tight. So for me, that's what worked for me, is I did 2 V stitches on both ends, and then I did every other one was a double crochet and then a V stitch, because if you just do V stitches all on it, it's gonna be way huge. So that's a little helpful tip. So make the 2 cuffs first for both of them at the same time, do your single crochet row, and then find what works for your width that you need, and then do the exact same thing on your second sleeve. And then once you have like the foundation, the first row of the V-stitch row, then it's going to be really easy. So you can just set that aside and finish the length of one, put it on, make sure that you like the length of it, and do the exact same thing to your second sleeve.
You're going to want to use your 5.5mm hook.
Start the sleeves. We are going to start with making our cuffs. So we are going to chain 8. All right, so I have 8.
I'm going to skip the first chain and work a single crochet going all the way down for each chain.
I have my little tiny chain. We're going to chain 1, turn our work. The first one and the last one, we're going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to start with a single crochet. Now I'm going to be working in the back loops. So you see the V, we're going to be working with this one only, doing a single crochet. And it's going to make us have a nice stretchy ribbed cuff. And then the last one, we're going to go under both loops. Okay. So let's do a couple more rows. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. Regular single crochet. Now the back loops only. Back loop. All right, and now we're on our last one, so we're going to do both loops. Go under both. Chain 1. Right, and go under both. Single crochet. And now we're going to do the back. We're going to go under both. All right, so go ahead and you're going to want this to go around your wrist as tight as you want, but you want to be able to put your hand inside. So go ahead and do as much as you think you need.
And remember, this is customized to you, so don't feel like you have to do what I do.
Okay, I have 26 rows. All right, we're going to chain 1. Now we are going to do a single crochet. Between all of our gaps. All right, we're on our last one. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn, and we're going to do 2 V's, so that was a V. A V. a double crochet.
And now I'm going to be working the sequence of 2 V-stitches next to each other, a double crochet, 2 V-stitches, a double crochet. But remember, I'm finding the width that is going to work for me, and this is what worked for me. I definitely think this is a wonderful starting point, so definitely try to do this first, and then if you need to adjust some things, like maybe have every third V put a double crochet instead of 2 if you need it to be a little bit bigger. But typically I find that the cuff, it stays a little bit more proportional to the arm size you have. So if you have a bigger arm, your wrist is probably going to be a little bit bigger. Definitely try it, but also don't forget to measure. And then this next row, I actually didn't film myself doing it, but you're going to chain 3 and you're just working into your V-stitch rows doing V-stitches. Only into the V's. I did film something important on my second row though. At the very end, when it goes to ending the row, you can fudge it a little, do whatever you need to do, but end it at the top of your V. If you are ending in a V, I ended in a V. You're chain 1 and you are going to do a single crochet and chain 3, and that's how you're going to start your next row, and it'll be much easier after this. But now you're just going to work into all of your visible V's that you have. And you're going to work as much length as you need, and then once you got it, you want to attach it to what you have so far and make sure it is perfect, and then you're just going to work up the exact same amount of rows on your second sleeve. I actually enjoyed doing the sleeves. I thought they worked up really fast. Okay, so when you're done with your sleeves, you want to go ahead and you want to make sure that you have it even. This is the middle seam, so make sure it's even on both sides, and you're going to know it's even because you're going to be able to fold it in half and have make sure the middle seam is completely folded. And it's going to sit like this. So go ahead and do that on both sides. And when you got it how you want it, you're going to put your stitch marker to mark where you're going to start and where you're going to stop. And again, don't forget, you want to make sure that when you're going to be seaming this is my good side. So I have this on the, so it's going to be inside out. So I'm going to be working on the wrong side, and this is the right side. So make sure you are folding it onto the right side. Go to add your other sleeve, you're going to go all the way across to mark it, and you can just use this as a guide. So once you have everything where you need it, make sure it's even. I've already done the sleeve, but I did forget to say, you are going to mark it, sew it straight, or I did the mattress stitch. I connected it by using the mattress stitch. So you could either sew it or do the mattress stitch. I don't recommend doing a single crochet or slip stitch just because it adds a little bit bump to it, and I just want it to look a little more seamless. So go ahead, that's going to be the first step. And then once you're done with that, making sure it's on the wrong side, remember the wrong side, you are going to fold it. This should go as one piece because you just connected it. And then you will start right here and go all the way down. All right, when it comes to seaming it, I am going to be working in the chain gaps. So that is what we're going to be crocheting into. First off, I'm just going to tie a little knot. Leave enough to weave in later. Again, don't weave that in right now. It's not something I would recommend in case you don't like something. Okay. And this is literally the easiest way to do this. I've tried other ways, but this is the easiest one. So I recommend this way. But now this is going to be the wrong side, so you cannot wear this reversible because this is going to stick out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just single crochet 2 for every chain space that we have.
So 1, 2. Go to our next one. 1, 2. Our next. 1, 2. Next. 1, 2. So you get the idea. So you're just gonna do that all the way around until you get to your sleeve. And then for the sleeve, once I got here, I did cut some yarn pretty long, and I did the mattress stitch going up, and when I got to the starting point and the ending point, I did do it 2 times. So go ahead and do that and meet back with me when you're done. I'm facing the right side. It's where it goes behind your neck. I'm just gonna hook it on somewhere in the middle of behind the neck, so the starting point is not going to be showing. And you can tie a knot, you can do whatever you need to do. First I'm gonna do, okay, our border, I'm gonna be doing 2 single crochets for every like chain space we did. So just do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're skipping like that little middle area. We're only working in the gaps, doing 2 single crochets, so it's gonna look nice and uniform. And we're gonna do something else for the corner, so go ahead and go all the way around and meet back with me when you get to the corner. So now I'm at one of the corners, the first corner actually, and I'm gonna do I'm so sorry about my cat. I'm gonna do 3 single crochets right here. So 1, and that same stitch, 2, and 3. And that wasn't a gap, that was just like, it looked like a corner stitch to me, so I did it right there. And now this is where we did our chain, so I'm just gonna go doing a single crochet. I'm gonna pick both of these up and do a single crochet all the way down. We do have a awkward seam when we get to the side panels, so I'm gonna show you how I navigate that, and you're gonna meet back with me when you get back to your neck, and I'm gonna show you how to do the next 2 rows. All right, so I am at my first little awkward area. So I did the last stitch of the front panel, and so now I'm just gonna go, you can clearly see where the next stitch is, so I'm just gonna go right here and do a single crochet, and it's gonna look nice. So that's how I navigate that, so don't complicate it. And so you're just gonna continue on all the way down. Remember, when you get to the other corner, you're gonna give it 3 single crochets, and then you're gonna work all the way back up to your neck. And when you make it back to where you started, then you're gonna meet back up with me. I'm gonna show you how to finish this. All right, I have slip stitched up to where we started, and now I'm going to yarn over a half double crochet all the way around. And it's gonna be a lot easier now because all your stitches are already there. So go ahead and keep going all the way around, and I'm gonna show you exactly what to do in the corner, and then meet back with me. So I'm making it to my first corner, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give right here 2 half double crochets, and then I'm gonna give the next stitch also 2 half double crochets, and then I'm just gonna keep working like normal, and it has a nice little curved edge. I finished my row, and you can add as many half double crochet rows as you would like. I added 4 total before cutting anything. Try it on, make sure you love it, and if you do, go ahead and start weaving in all of those tails. Congratulations, you are finished. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy your new cardigan, and I hope you wear it all the time and want to make multiple colors, because I know I want to make multiple colors. If you love this video and you want to keep crocheting with me, then go ahead and check out this video for this easy, beginner-friendly market bag. Not only can you start it, but you can finish it in the same day. They make great Christmas gifts. You're gonna love it. Happy crocheting!